Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a weapon review. This will actually be for a heavy machine gun, the Kraken Slayer limited edition. I have never used this before. It actually was on my list of weapons I wanted to try, so a big shout out to Fruxus, I believe is how you say it. Anyway, this is his item and he let me borrow this, so again, thank you guys very much for that. So let's get on with the video. Alright, so we have a heavy machine gun. It uses 9mm rifle ammo, 300 round capacity, slow reload speed, effing fast attack speed, low accuracy, 0 crit chance, and must be level 50 to equip. Also, one thing that's notable is 50 strength required. So if you look, 120 or 100 strength required here, 100 strength for these. So most heavy machine guns require a lot of strength. So if you are building a non-strength build, this is something that you may look into. So you do have a chance of using a minigun on a low strength build. It is a limited edition, so get them while they last. Average damage per second is 521. There is no crit. Damage per hit 12 times 5, 60 damage per hit, hits per second 8.6, and buckshot spread. So a couple abilities here. So 70% PvE armor penetration and enhanced knockback. So to give you something to compare it to, here's the Wraith Cannon. So this does 521 damage a second. The Wraith Cannon does 591. But the Wraith Cannon only does 50% PvE armor pen, where this does 70%, and this has enhanced knockback. So the enhanced knockback is going to help you control hordes or bossing or things like that. So a couple things from the Kraken versus the Wraith Cannon. So I've already took the liberty and ran down to the southeast zone. So more than likely you're going to be using this in a end-game area. And I do believe the southeast zone is the best for testing. It is a long run. But with something like this, when you really need to see what it can do, I want to be in the right area. So let me go to my inventory. I put my looting stuff on. My damage will be very low. Do I have weapon? Okay, I got ammo. Alright, so I think we're good, guys. Let's go ahead and get in here and try this. And again, I do appreciate you letting me borrow this, Fruxus. Helps a lot, man. What happened to my game? Oh, okay. So first thing we'll look at the look. So here's my Wraith Cannon. Here's the Kraken. I do like the Kraken better as far as looks go. Looks a lot cleaner. So, yeah, I really do like the... Look at the mag. I do like the Kraken's looks way better. So we'll get down. I have to go down one spot. This is the Wraith Cannon. Again, the testing will start when I get down to the next block. So I'm doing 26... actually, here, let's test it on these. So I'm doing 26 damage a shot with the Wraith Cannon. Alright. Let's just kill some things so we can kind of see how the Wraith Cannon's doing. Alright. And I have 11% damage boost. But I also have 12% machine gun damage boost. Now, it's only doing 14, where my Wraith Cannon was doing 26. But I believe this shoots more pellets. Obviously the Wraith Cannon does do more damage, but this has higher pen. So let's go down here and see what happens here. And look at the knockback. So let's come back up here. Let me get this horde off of me. Alright. I need a zombie here. Alright, so here's the knockback with my Wraith Cannon. I'd like to find another one. Okay, so, you know, they're pushing me a little bit here. Now let's see. Let's see what this looks like. So I will say it is noticeable. It holds them back pretty well. Let's go back to the Wraith Cannon. I mean, the Wraith Cannon does very well as, down here too. But you can see him walk up on me. See what it does with this guy. Yeah, the Wraith Cannon, it does allow them to walk up on you. Not real good. But they can walk up on you a little easier with the Wraith Cannon. Alright, we need a horde. Let me see if I can get a horde on me. May as well loot while I'm here. Oh god. Oh, just got hit. Alright, we're gonna switch it up. This ain't good. Oh shit. I'm broken. I should repair. Let's go repair. Alright, so we're back. So one thing, I do take a ton of damage because of my looting setup. I have negative 45% damage absorption. So just kind of a heads up on that. We need a horde. So we're going to see how... Here's a boss. Okay. Let's just see if we can't control this horde a little bit. As you can tell, it is keeping them pushed back. Again, I'm not going to say I feel safe, because I do not. I definitely do not feel safe. That was freaking close, guys. That's how you die. Shit like that. I think I just got a horde. Damn it. But I pretty much had a horde that whole time. And I will say, you know, we were killing things, but everything wasn't dying, like, extremely fast. I need to go to the hospital. But I was able to defend myself and hold them back, if that makes sense. And that's pretty much the point of a minigun. It's for that and for grinding. It's supposed to keep you safe until you can get out of danger. And I believe that it did that just then. So it did serve its purpose. Now, let's go in here. Where I can talk for a minute. On the streets, it's hard for me to really talk because I'm concentrated on not dying. Alright, so we're safe now. Alright, so as you can see, we almost died. We did get a horde on us, so I don't even know. Technically, it probably wasn't even a horde. It was just a ton of monsters. The purpose of the minigun is to grind and to keep enemies at bay, right? So I would say in the hardest area of the game, I was able to keep them at bay until I got to my hospital, right? Until I got to the safe zone. So I would say yes, it did its job. And I do think with the Wraith Cannon, I would have struggled a little more because of the pushback, the knockback that the Kraken has. So with that being said, what is the gun for? It's not for looting. You know, if you get a horde, it can take out a horde, but it's not for looting. The Kraken is made for grinding and controlling hordes, and I think it does just that. Now, with me saying that, I think there are better weapons at both of those. Just like my Wraith Cannon, there are weapons that are better at grinding. There are weapons that better controlling the horde. The reason that I gave the Wraith Cannon an S score was I only gave it that because it's unlimited ammo, and that's huge. It helps me a lot. Now, if it didn't have unlimited ammo, it would just be like the other Wraith Cannon, which I would not put on an S tier. Now with the Kraken Slayer, it's very similar. It has more armor penetration, and it also has more knockback, but it does not have unlimited ammo. You know, it does a little bit of a better job controlling, but overall it's pretty similar. The Wraith Cannon does outpower it a little bit, but long story short, they're pretty equal. With that being said, I would put the Kraken in an A slot, so I would say it's an A class. The reason I didn't give it an S is because if I didn't have it, I would not try to get it. There are other items I would look at. If I was going to grind, I would overlook that and I would go straight to the hypercoil. If I was looting, I would use the mag storm. It's not one of those items that's it. That's the end game. You got your item. It's not that way. But the Kraken does a great job for what it is. It is an end game, machine gun. And it does a great job at the end game, but it's not the end game. So overall, I would give it an A. I think we just showed its purpose. Now, obviously, if you're up at Synchron Bunker, it's just going to destroy everything. But this gun is made for these areas. Now, one more thing I want to go over. Let's go to this, because I have no idea what this thing costs. So you're looking at 80 mil. Actually, here, let's find a GC one. So you're looking at 83 million for a Kraken. And I would say most in-game items like S-Class are 200 million or pushing that. 150 to 250. So I would say that's probably about where it needs to be. You could also look at the Avalanche. That was another gun I reviewed previously. As far as if it was up to me and I had to choose between the Avalanche and the Kraken, I would probably go with the Kraken because I just like miniguns. I don't know why. I just love them. Try them both out and see what you guys think. But, I would go with the Kraken as far as damage goes. And I believe... Here, let's look at that too. Here, hold on. I want to see something here. Let's do... I'm curious now. All right, so the Avalanche is 474. And let's see, what does the... It does 521. So realistically, they're very close. But that damage just keeps adding up. I mean, so 591, now you're down to 521, and now you're down to the 470. So I would say, in my eyes, I would still go for the Kraken over the Avalanche. The Avalanche is budget. 47 mil for a GC, which is not bad. And then you could upgrade to the Kraken and then maybe upgrade after that. But anyways, that's where I'd place it. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts, comments, like the video, subscribe, join our Discord. I'm more than happy to try out some more stuff. And I'm probably going to be doing an implant review here shortly. So anyways, thanks again, Fruxus. I appreciate you letting me use that. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy. Peace.